groovy.
Yeah, she's never gonna mentally recover from this. Yoo-hoo! And thanks for tuning in to another cult horror movie review. Although it's not the first to come to mind, a perfect example of a movie which reflected the fears and angst of the nuclear age and the atom bomb was X, the Unknown, a movie which, in a lot of ways, feels like a precursor to The Blob starring Steve McQueen. It's weird when you think of it, because this was produced by Hammer Studios. During that time, they were making higher quality horror movies in color, and at the same time, they came out with low budget, black and white science fiction cheese like this. But just before we get going, if there's a cult horror movie you would like me to review, leave me a comment down below. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe, let me know your thoughts and feelings on X, the Unknown. This was originally supposed to be a direct sequel to the Quatermass Xperiment, but changes were made in the last moment. That being said, X the Unknown is still in a way part of an unofficial trilogy of science fiction horror films, the last one being the Quatermass 2. The plot takes place in Scotland.
But we swore, and we can't break a swear. Repeat the oath. I swear to get into the tower and look to see if old Tom sleeps there every night.
Now that's a Scottish accent. During a routine military exercise, a tiny earth tremor causes the ground to open up. Soon oozes out a highly radioactive blob-like substance which feeds off atomic energy and people to survive. It's up to a scientist played by Dean Jagger, who gives a frankly decent performance, to find a way to stop this monstrous creature from making its way to an atomic power plant, with the help of Inspector McGill, played by Leo McKern, who was also memorable in his role. Honestly, I've got very mixed feelings about this movie. It's not a terrible flick, but it's far from being an Academy Award winner in any way. I'll start with the good points. On the one hand, like I just said, I did enjoy the two lead performances here. I also enjoyed that the movie doesn't show the monster until the third act, which helps to build a bit of suspense. And that's one of the major differences with The Blob, where the titular creature is shown from the very beginning. There are moments of genuine tension. The cold and desolate Scottish countryside was a good choice of location to shoot this picture in, and the film gives off a very tongue-in-cheek vibe, which, while it should never be taken too seriously, it's got a B-movie charm. The science is pretty unbelievable and sometimes hard to follow, but for a movie like this, it doesn't really matter. There's a couple scenes of daring special effects for the time and place of people melting, but that's where the movie also falls short. I would have wanted to see more of it. Some of the acting is also pretty laughable, and I think they could have done more to create extra tension and scares. Director Leslie Norman was apparently not invested at all into this, which may explain why X the Unknown feels pretty lackluster. And once the blob creature does appear, it's for a few scenes, but director Norman didn't really make the best with what he had, which is really too bad. Since it was in black and white, it looks like a big blob of melted tar. Something which really bugged me is that the music playing is sometimes so loud you can't even hear what the actors are saying anymore. At first I thought it was me and I was just watching a poor copy, but no, I found out the movie was just released that way. And to add insult to injury, I won't give the ending away, but the film does end on a very abrupt note. This makes the end product feel very botched. Overall, I don't really know what to make of this. It's definitely not one of Hammer's best. It's an alright horror science fiction film, but I think it could have been something much better. It has some enjoyable moments, and then other moments which, aren't so much. But I can understand why some people consider this a cult classic, and I think it does deserve a spot in the deep realm of cult horror movies. So, if you're curious enough, go check it out and make an opinion for yourself on this.